Welcome to NOYZ BOYZ. Alex, you didn't do it.
Oh, NOYZ BOYZ. Whatever. It's like, what, number 6 now?
This is number 5. NOYZ BOYZ 5. Butt Ugly Boys.
So, the reason we're titling it that is because I had something I wanted to talk about. So, we were talking about old cartoons that no one really remembers, and if you do, you just remember it being, like, really bad or shitty. We brought up the Butt Ugly Martians. Now, Tad, you know the Butt Ugly Martians, right?
The Butt Ugly Martians?
Yes, with BKM, their butt-kicking mode. So, I remember...
BKM?
I remember that show existing. I know I watched it, but I can't remember a single joke or scene from it, so obviously it was not very good.
Neither could I. I only remember Biker Mice from Mars. There's a lot of Martian shows.
I remember the opening because it was infectiously catchy despite not being good. And I know this because one day... Okay, so when I get really upset in, like, a video game, I go into an ironic defense mode where I just embrace the fact that, you know what? My spirit leaves my body and looks at me and said, you know what? I'm pretty upset at a video game for no real reason. I should just make fun of myself for this right now. And I'll just start spouting some bullshit. My favorite is when I was losing a video game in League. I think I was playing Soraka and was like, just not even like playing the game properly. We were just like in a shitpost mode where we just started to fuck around because we just gave up. And I started singing the Butt Ugly Martians theme as I was losing. It became part of how I played the game, was to sing Butt Ugly Martians. I just kept doing it for the next 3 games because people just kept laughing. And I had to.
I can just imagine you running down there singing it's like
the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. It's like, Alice, what the fuck are you doing? I get a kill, like, we don't want to start a war. I just want a hoverboard. We don't want to conquer Earth. I just want to fill my girth.
I can attest to this. Like, I mean, you were getting kind of mad at Heroes in the Storm because you just needed one more win as Scorpix.
Yeah, because it's just like finally, I'll just get one more win. Like, that'll be quick. I'll just get my money and leave. Preston Easy was a little harder than I thought. I wasn't mad at the game, so I was mad at the idea, the concept of just, you need one more win. 5 game of losing later. It's like, okay, fuck you too. And that's nothing. That's being aggravated. If you want to see me be upset, have me queue up into fucking Overwatch. Not play it, just queue up into it and just immediately be unhappy.
Because I know the only way that you can play League of Legends with your custom announcer pack of when someone dies... Ah!
Yeah, I have the Gachamuchi announcer pack. When people die, I hear a guy get spanked in the ass and then scream. When someone gets like a multi-kill, it goes, "Don't touch me there." And if you shut someone down for a killing spree, it says, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." It's not despite being called the Gachamuchi announcer pack, it actually takes a bunch of different lines from gay porn, not specifically from the Gachamuchi series. But yes, it is a gay porn announcer, and it's the only way I can enjoy that game, because it's just really funny to me, hearing slapping beats as I fucking kill shit or lose, because it makes losing fun, because you hear a fucking just, ah! Every time your ally dies. That's really funny. That's amusing to me. And, like, when you get an ace, it goes, "Victory, dude!" But hey, I could fucking go on about this fucking gay porn thing forever.
Wait, hold on. What does it say? Does it do the victory screech from SpongeBob? What the fuck is that?
He says, "Victory, dude!" It's a fucking line from the porn. I don't know the context for it. Victory, dude. Hey, I haven't seen it. I don't know the context. I don't want to know, but considering he says, "Alright, maggots, I want to see 6 hot loads," I picture the story as military-themed. I picture it's just like a gay dude who's like naked, or at the very least is wearing like a belt or something to cover his dick, and like a fucking drill sergeant hat. Like, that's what I picture. Am I right? I don't know.
My name's Sergeant Spunk. Anyway, what were we talking about with Butt Ugly Martians? We started and immediately forgot.
Kappa Mikey and other shitty shows. So here's the thing about Kappa Mikey. Now that show existed also, and I know I've watched at least 5 entire episodes of it. Much like the Butt Ugly Martians, I don't remember shit about it. So it obviously wasn't very good.
Like, I had satellite TV, and they had like a Nicktoons, like, it's basically where like cartoons go to die. And like they would have a few shows on there. Like, it's like once the show stopped being good on Nick, they were like, oh well, we still have it for like a year, so let's put it on Nicktoons. Let's put it on the trash one. And they would have like Butt Ugly Martians. They had like Kappa Mikey marathons all the time. And Kappa Mikey was like, hey, let's take a Western character and put him in an anime. And it had an opening, all right.
Okay, that opening was very catchy, and you know you liked it. And the idea is genius. That's really funny. He's a character from a fucking Western animation, and he's been put into the world of anime. And the one joke that I remember was a reoccurring joke, and I thought it was actually funny, was whenever like something shocking would happen, the characters' heads would get bigger because it was an anime. They're like, huh? Or like, nani? And he couldn't do it. So they would all go like, huh? And he would look at you, he would try to puff up his cheeks, and they would just be sad that he couldn't do it.
And I remember he had like much thicker Western cartoon lines.
Yeah, it was a good idea. And they had a couple good reoccurring jokes. But that was it. I think they watched 2 animes and called it a day. They probably should have watched at least 6.
They watched an episode because I remember there was like this big blue like dude who was like, because there was like, it was some show where he was like a superhero. Like that, they had a show within a show within a show. It was kind of weird.
Well, you know,
the blue dude had Goku's voice. They didn't even change. It was just they probably just told him like do Goku's voice.
Well, the blue dude, because they're all actors acting out in anime. Like the fucking little fucking purple
the
dude
Pikachu
was
ripoff.
The Pikachu ripoff was supposed to be just that, the animal sidekick, who I don't remember what he sounded like, so I censored in my brain as he sounded like Meat from Ultimate Muscle. And I hope that's how he sounded.
Yeah, he did actually. He
thank
sounded like
God.
me. He was like the boss. I had to make a new YouTube account for the podcast because I had like too many copyright strikes because I uploaded all of the Brazilian episodes of Ultimate Muscle on the old channel.
Okay. Alright. Why?
Because I couldn't find the English ones.
Okay. And like the big blue dude was like the supervillain who would like transform into a monster to fight in the show, but then after the show he would just turn into a nice big dude. That was it. That was the joke of that. But yeah, cartoons suck shit. Like for every good cartoon, so this actually goes for both Western and like animes and shit. For every good cartoon there's an awful lot of garbage. Speaking of garbage in anime, I have a friend who likes anime, right?
Yeah, the which one is it? Was it Elba? That fuck?
No, it's not that fuck. It's a different fuck. It's the fuck that I took to the whorehouse. So this fuck, as I've mentioned before, is sort of a sad sack sometimes. Sometimes. So only sometimes. But there's just sometimes where people like to really piss me off. Usually when it's not my problem. Situation 1. I'm sitting minding my own business. Friend, and whichever friend this is, friend walks up. He's all like, hey, wanna do X? I'll say, no, not really. I'm busy doing stuff as I'm eating a pizza or like just watching a video. You know, I'm minding my own business. But that's the most Hitler thing I could ever do, apparently. Because people just don't like the idea of me not dropping everything for them. I just want to
come on, I need one more Hero of the Storm game to get my 10 Overwatch loot boxes.
Sometimes I just don't care, but hey, I'm supposed to all the time. So, I'm sitting minding my own business watching a Hearthstone video. My friend walks up to me, well, it's on Discord, but he'll just picture it. He walks up to me, says, hey, wanna read this manga that I fucking have, or that I've been reading? It's actually pretty good. I'm like, well, not really, but what is it? He links me and I look at its tags. Now, looking at tags is a way to see what a series is generally about, what genre it is, and to see if you judge it right there, because sometimes you might not like a certain genre, right?
Yeah, like for me, it's every.
like when I go and look at fucking hentai, when I see like all this disgusting shit, I'm not gonna be like, you know what? Let's give it a chance. I'm gonna be like, no, that looks gross. I don't want to read it. The same rule applies to regular manga, too. It applies to everything. Like, some people might not like a sci-fi movie just because they don't like the sci-fi genre. That's It's completely understandable. So when I see this thing, it's called Samon the Summoner. I think that's how you say it. Simon says the Summoner. I don't care. I don't care. So I look at the tag, and it says High School Comedy Horror. And I said, wow, this looks like shit. Like, I judged it purely on the tags right there. Now, some people might say, you're judging a book by the cover. I might say, would I read a fucking foot... Like, if I don't like feet, would I read a foot fetish doujin? No, because that's gross. If I don't like High School Comedy Horror, would I read a High School Comedy Horror? No, because that's gross. I don't care. It reminds me of something like... I've read plenty of these. There are plenty of these High School Comedy Horror mangas all over, like Shonen Jump or even other magazines. Like... Two off the top of my head that I remember are Muyo and Roji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigation, if I said that correctly, and another one that I really disliked called Nora. Now, this one kind of gives me the same vibes as Nora, where Nora's a little more action-paced. The style of how it's written and presented, like, reeks similarity to it. And I think it's just a fault of it being the genre that it is. So, I didn't want to read it. At all. And it's not so much a story of why I didn't like the manga itself. It's more of a story of just, Jesus Christ, leave me the fuck alone, I don't care. Because I'm just like, I showed him the tag and said, I don't really like this. And I explained what I said. And I thought I was being, not an asshole about it yet. But then he just went, yet. Well, he didn't piss me off yet. I just said, no, I don't want to do this. And then he just went off on me. But how I'm an awful human being and a terrible friend because I didn't want to read this manga. Now, here's what I say. Fuck off, you bastard. I'm busy.
I'm busy watching Hearthstone videos.
Yes, I am. I would rather watch a Hearthstone video about, because this is before the fucking update, why Pirate Warrior is cancer and killing everything. Again, before, before Angoro came out. Then read this fucking manga that I know that I'm not gonna like. But he just kept going on and on for legitimately, half an hour about why I'm terrible and shouldn't judge anime by their cover and shit. I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna like this, but just to shut you up, I'll read it. So I read, I think like 5 chapters of it. I don't actually know how long. Actually, no, it was way longer than 5. It was like 15.
How long are chapters?
It varies. Sometimes they're like 7 pages, sometimes they're fucking like 15. Like, they're just long sometimes. But I read a lot of it. Okay? I read he said, he started getting like, like you have that, like, the stages of anger and grief? How, like, you start off angry and you get sad. He went and bargain and shit. He went from being just totally pissed at me to just saying, like, just read, like, 2 chapters and then I'll let you judge it. I'm just like, what the fuck ever? Shut up. So I fucking, cause people might call me an asshole. And if he ever watches this, he might call me an asshole too. But you have to understand my position. I was doing stuff. Like, fuck off! Like, sorry I didn't drop everything to read some bullshit for you! Like, motherfucker, I'm doing things! So,
yeah, Alex, I don't care if you're playing Dota 2. Look at what happened to Cardcat in this update. Man, that's crazy.
Leave your game of fucking Dota 2 right now and read this Homestuck update. It's like, no, bitch, I'm doing things. You know, that really sums up my life of, no, asshole, I'm busy. But anyway, hey, I'm just an asshole. I don't ever ask for anything of my goddamn friends. Ted, when's the last time I forced you to do something? But no, I'm forced to do everything. But hey, let's get to the fucking, let's continue the story of why I hate my friends. So, why Dogdo was right. So, he's from SMT4. His whole entire thing is, in his ending, if you side with him, you kill all of your anime friends and gain ultimate power. And all of your friends in that game are written really poorly, and you hate all of them. Or, like, most players hate all of them. So everyone just says Dogdo was right. It's a joke. Anyway. This is why Dogdo was right. So, I read a shitload of it. Just all of it. And I didn't like a minute of it. Now, some people do. And if you do, congratulations, that's fine. You can like whatever the fuck you like. I don't actually care. As you mentioned, I just sit and mind my own business. I don't give a shit. But it's the fact that he kept insisting It's the fact that it's the story of how I had to read this manga, was forced to read this manga, as opposed to fucking just reading it and not enjoying it. So, the story of Samon the Summoner is this kid with blue hair who has, like, one of those fucking, what was the fucking sport? I just forgot off the top of my head. Curling.
It's a curling iron.
Yeah, he has a thing on his head that looks like a curling iron handle. And he has one magical eye, much like my favorite Undertale character, Sans, who is literally me. Fucking,
Sans Undertale.
Yeah, of Tiny Sans. So, his whole thing is there's this fucking normal girl with black hair who looks as boring as she sounds, because that's the whole point. She's supposed to be boring. And she has big ol' frog eyes. So, because that's just the art style. So she's sitting around being a nice person. She's like the class president or something, which I guess is a big deal in anime. Who is just being nice and helping people out. And then blue-haired kid comes in with his handlebar, sits down in his chair, because he's a new transfer student, looks at her and says, "People aren't actually good to each other. You're just a stuck-up bitch, and I'm gonna make you admit it." And she's like, "The fuck are you talking about?" And then he starts summoning demons and shit. So his entire deal is that he can summon demons and can use magic and shit. And he fights demons and shit with his magical powers. No one believes him. He never covers it up, either. People are just never around to see it. And no one really believes and thinks he's just a weird fucking autist. And he's
this sounds
shooty.
legitimately like the joke anime concept I would come up with if someone was to describe to me the typical anime. This is literally it.
The thing is that I think I could be, and I don't know, because it sure as I wasn't tagged as such, but it might be a gag. Like, the whole thing might be one story of just utter irony, and I just didn't get it.
Like, it's the neocosmos of anime. It's set up and written such that I think it's a parody. And I'm like, oh man, this is really, really well done satire. Oh, wait, it's not.
Yeah, it's in Shonen Jump, so I don't actually know if it's just supposed... Because Shonen Jump is a manga for, like, 10-year-olds. That's the whole point. Like, Naruto's for 10-year-olds. That's the whole point. Like, yeah. So it might be legitimate. I don't know. Like, my irony senses can only go so much. Like anime irony is really hard to discern. Or, is it the word? To understand. Like, fucking Mike and Matt might understand it more because they understand Japanese irony more than someone like me who understands American irony. But hey, like, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be really funny and is an all giant joke. I don't know, but I didn't like it. If it was, then I still didn't like it. But anyway, so the story is, he does weird demonic shit. She goes nani. The entire thing is that he is so autistic, he refuses to believe that she can just be a good person and just be a hard worker. He wants her to admit, he wants to force this person to be a bitch, because that's how humans should be, assholes to each other. He's like a fucking ANCAP kind of guy at poster on like Pull or something. He's just a fucking jittering autist. And whenever he does his magic powers, he, like, gets his fucking magical glowing Sans eye. And I was spouting all this same shit to him while I was reading it, because, God forbid, I just don't like something. I have to write a 4-page paragraph of why I don't like something for people to fucking get it. I can't just say, well, the art style looks kind of like shit, because I didn't like the Frog Eyes art style, to be totally honest. I don't like his design. I think he looks ugly, and even if it's supposed to be funny, it's ugly. Like, Bobo's design was funny. This design's just ugly and stupid.
It's kind of like, I said Steven Universe is trash, I'll never watch it, and you're like, alright.
And I said, fair enough, but you're missing out. That's what I said. Because it has.
And then I started screeching.
Yeah, I guess, like I said before, I have mentioned this like 800 times, but I guess I'm the only person in the universe who could just not give a shit about things. Because, man, do some people take things a little too goddamn seriously. Like, man, like, I hate this anime. Blah, 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 you're an awful person, blah, blah. I don't want to do X. How could you say that? So, God forbid, I just didn't care. But anyway, Samon the Summoner was very mediocre, and it reminded me a lot of Nora. While they had different, various degrees of different action scenes, I still didn't like it. They felt very similar to the whole demon summoning, demon world bullshit, and asshole main character. Samon is such a dick, maybe he grows. I know he started becoming a little less of an asshole when she started becoming a little more bitchy. Like, there was this one time where there's like this person in danger, and she's like holding him like, holy shit, Samon, save this guy. And he like looks down, condescending, like, nah, I don't really feel like it. And she just like put like no more frog eyes. She's like an anime face, and she's like, shut the fuck up, you motherfucker, and save this goddamn piece of shit. And he's just like, oh, she swore. Well, that's a little more the nature I expected her to be. Well, I guess I'll save this guy. He's the most unlikable person I've ever read in an anime in a long time. Again, like, people might be screaming at me right now that the whole thing's supposed to be ironic and this is just a giant joke. Maybe it is, and I just didn't get it. But from my perspective, it was really shit and not very good. It was very run-of-the-mill for a high school comedy horror in the Shonen Jump Weekly manga magazine. It was
just even horror.
Okay, so that's actually okay. Let me NOYZ BOYZ about that real fast. So that horror tag in manga is a load of horse shit. So at least if you see comedy and then horror, you know the horror aspect isn't actually going to be horror. Like, it's not going to be a weird black comedy. It's
just going to be like spooky monsters.
Yes. Horror just means monsters. Like, he summons demons that look kind of weird. And it's not even like Frankenfran, where it's like actually disturbed. Like where the horror tag in Frankenfran actually makes sense, even with the comedic things, because there's gore and shit in it. Like she's a zombie who actually takes her head off. She doesn't die, but like, she can actually dismember herself. Or there's her weird servant that like can store body parts in her. That's creepy. You can put a horror tag on that. It's never used in an antagonistic role in the series. It's just supposed to be weird and upsetting. But the horror tag makes more sense to that. The horror tag and shit like this, and I'm almost certain Rosario Vampire had a horror tag at one point, but it might not be anymore. Don't correct me on that. But
you're speaking Greek to me.
You might as well speak in Greek, bruh. Fucking.
Might as well be speaking a foreign language with all these weird names.
Fucking. It's just used in Shonen Jump type of shit, like more comedic, lighthearted stuff, to just say, like, oh, there are monsters, and oh, they do demon shit, like they do spooky shit, mildly spooky shit, like Muyu and Roji's Bureau of Supernatural Investigation, like Majin Tentai Nogami Nero, I think that's how you say it. Again, forgive me, I'm not Japanese. That was a manga that I actually didn't hate. That was like a mystery manga that was really weird. The horror tag made more sense in that, because not only was things creepy, but people died in that. That makes more sense. It was still on Shonen Jump because I guess the childhood market in Japan's a little more fucking lenient. People can die a lot as opposed to our market. But like,
can be sent to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah,
permanently.
Like, it made more sense in a tag like that. When it's tagged in shit like that, like when I see the lineup of high school comedy horror, I know it's going to be a load of shit, and that horror tag means nothing. It's gonna just be kids with involved with demons at high school, and it's gonna not be good. It's gonna be boring like Nora. And that's why I don't like a lot of anime. At least, that's why I don't like a lot of Shonen Jump anime. Because they all feel really samey. And it just comes with coming from the magazine.
See, the most anime thing that I'm comfortable with is, like, Phoenix Wright. We played Phoenix Wright. I think, when did we play the first one? I think we got it on, like, the WiiWare thing when I was at your house.
We played it in a weird order. We played 3 first. Then
That's
1,
right.
then 2. People might be saying, you're an idiot. Well, here's the reason why I bought it in that order. Because it was my Wii, I bought the games. I bought 3 first because I thought Godot looked cool on it. And that's pretty much it.
And then we realized Godot is a fucking bitch.
Yeah, I hate Godot. Now, before we go into more Phoenix Wright, I want to just mention how much I hate that character. That guy is the biggest. That guy is the biggest asshole and the biggest waste of $10 I've ever seen. I ironically purchased Garshasp the Monster Slayer and the prequel for $1 each. And I felt, and that felt like a better deal than listening to Godot go on about some symbolic bullshit and say how he's the best of the best when all he does is lose. All he does, okay, he'll be like,
I'm an ace prosecutor. I've never lost Phoenix Trite. Quote from man who has lost every single case in this game. Like, fucking back up, buddy. Even Edgeworth was like, treated Phoenix Wright a little bit better at the end of that game. Because he's like, okay, well, hold on, this dude's not a complete fuckwad. He's not a fucking
Edgeworth
Winston
grew.
Payne.
Edgeworth was a whiny bitch, but he grew as a character. Like, in, say, Dual Destinies, I haven't played the new one, but in Dual Destinies, he was the fucking boss. He got shit
You know what
done.
else you haven't played, Alex? You haven't played Leighton vs. Right, the game I bought you.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it. Are you gonna go on an hour spree? Hey, I played the first case. Are you gonna go on an hour spree about how I'm a terrible person and don't want to read your animes too?
Yes, because Leighton vs. Right is the best Phoenix Wright game ever made. It's so good.
Okay, well, I'll get to it someday when I
Especially
feel
the
like
ending
it.
where Phoenix Wright's like just pulls out a fucking gun and
Well-
just shoots the dragon.
Well, I have to go to Evo again, so I'll fucking play it at the airport. Fucking... Okay. So back to Godot. So, the first time you meet Godot, his whole never lost thing, he's like, well, I never won once either. And it's like, it's a joke. It's funny. That's okay. That made me chuckle a little bit. But the reason I hate Godot is, despite always losing and shit, he always has this fucking cocky attitude, and he's just unlikable, where it's just like, yes, I finally figured it out. The reason this case is X, and then he'll fucking, his coffee will slide in, he'll pick it up, he'll sniff it, just gonna get a big whiff of it, drink it, put it back down, then pick it back up and point to you and go like, that's wrong, trite. And it's just like, man, fuck you too. Like he can't just go objection and then point at me. He's gonna draw that out as unlikable as possible. Motherfucker. And, okay, the reason he has this cocky attitude is to finger quote, teach right. But here's the thing. I didn't like it. I don't know. I don't care what the reason was. He was a fucking asshole. Franziska von Karma was a bitch for every bit of 2. She grew at the very end of the game and stopped being nearly as much of a cunt. But she was still kind of a cunt at the start of 3. Man, I'm using a hard fucking C right there. I realized that word's actually kind of bad to say. Oh, well, whatever. I'm backing down. Fucking... In 3, she was still kind of a bitch, but she started to get over it more, especially when Pearl was like, wow, Franziska, you're kind of a stuck-up bitch, aren't you? And she's
I
like...
don't remember anything about the 3rd game.
Oh, I do. Because you have to go on near the end of the game, I think it was actually the last case, you go on an investigation thing with Franziska, and Pearl's she's like treating you right like shit, and then Pearl's all like, wow, Franziska, you're kind of a stuck-up bitch, aren't you? And Franziska's like, holy shit. Like, damn, I should probably reevaluate my life if a little 8-year-old girl's gonna call me a cunt.
You kind of do something like that in Spirit of Justice, which is the one I'm playing. There's the princess, like the whole gimmick to that one is that in the kingdom they do like a divination seance where they see the last 15 seconds of the victims like before they died. And like she's basically mini Franziska.
Oh, great, my favorite.
And you have to go on an investigation with her. The last case of Spirit of Justice is fucking crazy. It's like 3 cases in one. The shit's going wacky. I've been playing it since February, and I'm still on the last case. Like, it's pretty goddamn long. Because you start off in, like, the States, and then you do a thing, and then you go to, like, the Kingdom of Khura'in, and then you do a thing,
wait.
and then you have another thing.
Are you actually in the States, or are you in the finger quote States? Are you in Los Angeles with all the Japanese shit around you?
Yeah, you're in sanfrantokyo.
Eat your hamburgers,
bullshit.
Apollo.
You're in San Francisco, but
Eat your hamburgers, Apollo.
I really like it. I think it's fun. Leighton versus Right is my favorite one, though.
But far. Also, so Franziska eventually. It takes a long time, but she eventually grows. Plus, she's also kind of hot, so she gets a pass.
She's like 14.
No, in the beginning she's 14. After that, she's like 18. She's like almost 20, actually.
Okay, whatever.
In the flashback, she's like 12. That's bad. Don't like that, people. But when she's an adult, it's fine. But at least she's 18 in the English version, so hey, I'm okay. I'll roll with it.
We'll buy that.
Hey, it says 18 right there, officer. I didn't do nothing wrong. It's my
back
anime.
and your bad boy shades fall down.
Oh yeah. Fucking I put him on turn on like the thing and then do like that thing from Resident Evil where he like throws the shades at the screen. You ever see that in the trailer where Wesker takes out the shades and throws them at the screen for like a 3D effect? It was like the lamest thing ever.
It sounds like the dumbest shit on the planet.
That again, see, that's the type of irony that I like because that knows it's stupid and it's playing off of it. That's irony. Anyway, so Franziska eventually grows and she's hot. Godot's annoying, never really grows, and the worst part of it is that he was right in the end. That's what pisses me off. He never got his comeuppance, you know? He was right.
Did he go to jail?
Oh no, he does, but the comeuppance for that character wouldn't be going to jail and getting fucked in prison. That's not funny. That doesn't get what he deserves. What he actually deserves is to finally be proven wrong. The only thing that happens is right grows to his level. Like, that's what Godot wanted. Where Right figures it out and drinks coffee, and Godot's like, you finally get it, kid. And then he goes to fucking jail and gets fucked.
Because I think after that was Apollo Justice and all the other ones. And then at that point, like, Phoenix Wright's like an adult. He's like he takes the role of like the smart mentor. He's like, I know my shit now.
Well,
because like in Apollo Justice, he's like older, and then like he quits his. What the fuck was with the ending of Apollo Justice? All right, spoilers for this game that came out probably like a decade ago, but what the fuck? So the entire game is like they're building up to like the jury system. They're gonna change the court of law, and the final dude's put away because the jury votes to put him away, and then it's never brought up again.
Because they can't, because then the game relies on there being no jury. If there's a sequel, then there's gonna has to be no jury again. It's just that's
but here's
how it
the
works.
thing: Leighton versus Wright had a jury, like. He can still do it. Granted, those were witch hunts. And I mean, you really don't want to zivalunch chunch mill yourself here.
Okay, so like, a lot of people don't actually like Hobo Wright, as he's called. Because
I liked him. I thought he was cool.
Here's the thing. It makes sense for him to, after all those games, be a bumbling idiot, and then, like, a time skip, he becomes, like, this wise-ass motherfucker who can figure shit out, kind of like how Mia did. But the problem with that is, one, that's not the Phoenix people fell in love with. People kind of like the bumbling, kind of slightly asshole-ish Phoenix that we all know and love, where he would be an idiot and bluff his way out of shit, and he would be an asshole, but he wouldn't be an asshole directly. He would always think in his head, like, some sarcastic remark, because he had respect. That's actually very human, and a lot of people like that, because everyone has some asshole thing to say about other people, and unlike me, they don't always say it out loud.
Yeah, like, I'm over here thinking, God, I can't wait to finish this podcast so I can not talk to this dude for another 7 days. I fucking hate this Alex guy.
Motherfucker. So when he becomes this wise-ass motherfucker, it's a little different. It's almost a whole new character, right? Then, the sequel comes out from that, which is Dual Destinies after years, and then he's back to being the bumbling idiot because you have to play as him again. You can't play as a wise motherfucker who knows everything, because it wouldn't be a game, you know? And so it's kind of an issue. It just matters. It's just which writer handled him issue, you know. And
shit,
I like
What was the prosecutor in Dual Destinies again? It was Black something, right?
Blackquill.
Blackquill was my favorite prosecutor.
He was cool.
And again, spoilers if you haven't played this game. Like the end where he's just like he could have gotten a guilty verdict. He's like, nah, fam, fuck that shit. Nah, whoa, come on, go to the stand, motherfucker. Let's put you in the hot seat here.
I mean, you did free Blackquill. He, like, apparently in the new game, he's a fucking assistant for Athena or some shit.
For, like, one case.
Hey, it's cool.
But like, he's just like, no, sit the fuck down. Nah, this case ain't over. I want to actually find out who did this. And I was like, yes, fucking Jesus Christ, finally. Finally!
But, yeah, anyway, I hate Godot, and I think he's a cunt, and I really wish he would just be proven wrong as opposed to Wright being proven correct to his level. I wish that guy, like, even, I know he's a good guy who helped you in the end, but fuck him. Like, yeah, honestly, fuck him.
Get him out of here, that's what I say. My favorite prosecutor are the Payne brothers. They're my favorite. Them and Blackquill.
The Payne train is unstoppable.
Winston Payne, Gaspin Payne, what was the other one? Winston Payne, Gaspin Payne, there was another one.
Yeah, there was the third one. Here, let's look it up.
Also, where the fuck is my great ace attorney? This pisses me off. I think the reason that they haven't taken the Sherlock Holmes one to the U.S. is like the European, like the I think the estate of oh god, what's his face? Arthur Conan Doyle like doesn't want people to use Sherlock Holmes as like a thing. Like as a what's the word I'm looking for? Like public domain. That's it. They don't want him to be public domain, so they always throw a big hissy fit. And so I think they were just like, let's not fucking bother moving us over.
Oh no! You're right. There is only the two Paynes. Remember, you fight Winston Payne in three different forms: his normal form, his young form, and his old form. And then there's Gaspin Payne, who is in the fucking new game.
Yeah, and he's a chief prosecutor in Korean because there's no defense attorneys, so he can't lose. But what else? There's another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, that's right. All right. So there's we're coming up on a year since Overwatch was released. I think it was the 24th Overwatch came out last year. May 24th.
Yep. There's apparently going to be an anniversary event, by the way. It was leaked.
Yeah, they just announced that today on the Twitter.
Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
They got it. All right, so they had this thing trying to get people to play Heroes of the Storm, where it's like you pay 5 games, you get Oni Genji. Pay 5 more, you get rewards in other games. You'll get a skin for Genji, you'll get some sprays, you'll get a skin for Diva, and then after playing 20 games in Heroes of the Storm, you get 10 boxes for that game, and you get 10 Overwatch boxes. And like, oh sweet, hell yeah! I'm just gonna wait for the event to come out. It ends on the 27th, and the events or the weekly event ends on like the 26th, and then the event starts on the 27th. Those fucks. Because here's what I was thinking. I'm like, okay, there's an Overwatch event thing. If you make it so you're able to get these 10 boxes during the event, yes, you're going to lose out on a lot of people buying them. But, I mean, people have to pay 20 games of Heroes of the Storm and you're throwing loot boxes at them.
I'd rather spend $20 than ever play 20 games of Heroes of the shit.
Like, here's the thing. Do people... Because, I'm trying to wonder, do you get more money from individual people buying boxes than you do people in Heroes of the Storm spending money?
Well, the idea is
I feel like people in MOBA games spend a lot more on crates and skins and shit like that, right? More than they would in Overwatch.
That's why they put the crate system in Heroes of the Storm, and the idea is they want people to give Heroes of the Storm the shot it deserves, and possibly like and play that game, and then spend money on it. I
mean, by default, it's the best MOBA because League of Legends sucks.
Bold.
Heroes of Newerth isn't a thing. Dota is fine if you're into super competitive games, but if you're anyone else, Dota's got such a huge fucking wall. And the fact that I haven't played in a few months and I have to go relearn the entire game because they have talents and all this crazy shit in there now.
And they also made new talents. Anyway, here's the thing that Heroes of the Storm. Like I mentioned before, I don't like it. The game's not
very well. It's the Smash Bros.
Well
of MOBAs. It's just unbalanced because hey, just do whatever. Who gives a fuck?
I can have fun with the game sometimes. There are some cool characters, there are unique ones too, like Abathur or Cho'Gall. But I can have fun with the game for a couple hours, at a time. But I can't play the game consistently for ever. It's too easy and boring. That's it. It's too simple.
That feel when too smart to play Heroes of the Storm.
Honestly, when a game is too easy, there's no actual challenge, and it's not entertaining anymore, right? There's the whole point of
it's got some other stuff going for it, which Heroes of the Storm visually not that great. Characters look like they got dwarfism.
Some characters are fine. Some models look good. It's mostly the Warcraft models that look good, though, because when they had to model the Overwatch characters. Oh boy, did they fuck that up. Look at Lucio's crack-addicted face. Motherfucker looked like he smoked for 40 years, and he's only 20. Fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Look
Pump
at Diva's...
up. And he's in a bathroom, and he's got a fucking heroin needle right in his arm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, turn it up. Fucking... he's not actually a musician. He's just having deranged delusions in his fucking bathroom. He's messing with the sink like it's a turntable. Fucking
this shit is fire and hot water spraying all over him.
Fucking look, Diva's model actually doesn't look too bad, but her art is horrible. She looks like she doesn't have a nose because there's no depth to the art. So she has a weird semi-Voldemort face. She looks like she was a test tube baby that got stuck on the glass.
Steven of Steven Universe.
Yes, she looks like she has a Steven Universe nose. She has it just scrunched up into her skull. Zarya looks surprisingly okay, and Tracer
Zarya actually works because she looks she's thick. She's thick and
Zarya
the normal
already
game.
looks kind of like an inhuman bear monster wearing human skin, so she transferred over fine.
How do you do, fellow Russians?
How do you do, fellow humans? Fucking. And Tracer looks kind of awful too. Genji looks fine because Genji doesn't have a face. Genji's just a robot suit. And Tracer has way too big goggles, a pudgy nose like always, and odd coloring. It sounds weird to say it, but she just because Overwatch is really bright, but the Heroes of the Storm game is a little darker, so she looks weird.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like making a character that's cel-shaded and then drawing them in a different art style. Like, you can still tell it's a character by design, but man, does it look funky. Part of, like, how you identify with the character is the bright orange, like, fucking jumpsuit. Now it's like a dark orange, and it weirds you out.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to mention, so they announced, like, on Twitter, like, oh, we're doing the anniversary event, and they had a little video. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, I'm not expecting, like, fucking meet the Reaper or something. Like, I'm not expecting like a big video like that, but I'm like, okay, cool, let's check this video out. And it's just like, hey, here's all the things we did throughout the year, and then some fan art, and like, oh, that was it. And I was thinking, I'm like, so I was thinking about like the TF2 like videos. Like every time that TF2 did a video like this, they always snuck something in there. TF2 has the undisputed best updates of any game because they made people lose their. Every time there's a TF2 update, the Steam store would go down, the community, like inventories for everyone would shut the fuck down because they blew up the servers because people were getting crazy hype over it and wanted to get into this. Even if it was just like some small bullshit. But like even like in their videos, like think like when the engineer update came out, you know, all I had was just the engineer just it just took like a hammer and smashed it down on the table. In that little video, there's man versus machine shit hidden everywhere. There's little bits and pieces. They tried to do it with Sombra, but really cocked that one up. Oh my god. You people fucked that one up. Like, they had the whole ARG that's like, oh, you know, a Bastion unit's getting hacked. Oh, that didn't actually mean anything. No, it's just Sombra is eventually going to come out. We didn't actually have a plan. Like, they should do
or
more
like the
shit
big
like
countdown.
TF2.
The big countdown to Sombra's release finger quotes, and the countdown ended, and then showed another countdown, because I'm pretty sure they had to delay Sombra because she was buggy.
Yeah, there was the countdown, and then it led to a countdown, which led to, like, a completely useless thing, because it didn't fucking mean anything. It was like, oh, you know, I'm going to hack this Bastion unit. And then that, like, never even... Like, not even in her video, she didn't even hack a Bastion unit.
And the best part of everything is that Sombra sucks ass. Well worth the wait.
But, like, the video, like, I was disappointed that they didn't do anything in it to try and, like what I would have done if I was them is during, like, a montage of fan art, have, like, someone who took, like, some funny screenshots or, like, gameplay clips where, like, you know, someone did something silly. And then, like have, like, 3 of them going across the screen. And then in the bottom right corner, have a new map, like, whatever new map you're working on, and have it have, like, Doomfist, like, on the middle of the screen. Like, you can't see anything. You just see a little bit. You see, like, these little ability icons.
No, here's a good way to fuck with people.
And they're like, whoa, fuck, hold on. And then, it, like, everyone gets excited.
No. Here's a way they could have fucked with people and made it
they
really
They did something just like that with the Portal 2. They had the one of the trailers for Portal 2 had a bunch of people sitting at their desks, and in one of those computer screens was Meet the Pyro. It was 7 seconds of Meet the Pyro during this, like, Portal 2 trailer, and that got people fucking ape shit. They went insane.
Well, Valve's a little more human than Blizzard, that's why. Because remember how I said how it's about the fun is playing the game as opposed to just winning the game? Same goes with the fun was in designing the updates as opposed to just putting them out.
Yeah, because you had... That's why TF2 did it over multiple days. You had day 1, day 2, day 3, you know?
Also,
they didn't just drop it all at once.
Another reason that people don't get nearly as hype and explode the fuck out of shit in Overwatch. Because 1... it's always just, hey, here's new shit to buy. And 2, there's the PBE. You know it's coming out 2 weeks in advance anyway. Doesn't matter. The hype dies by the time the actual shit is live. And that's just probably the same goes with League. Like, I can go to Surrender at 20 and see the next update that's going to come out next month. No real excitement outside of, oh, that's cool. Like, we knew about Warwick's rework legitimately almost 2 months before he actually came out. Because we saw it. We saw him talking about, but also like show his new like design and some of his new abilities. It's just like, oh, okay, that's cool. That'll come out eventually. Like, you're excited to get it, but that excitement only lasts a few days. It's not like with Team Fortress 2. They do here's one day of new shit. Here's the next day of even more new shit and shit like that. And they also hide things. Like, if you're going to hide something that you're bringing up with Overwatch, here's what they could have done. When they were showing all the fan art, they could have shown fan art for Doomfist, but one of those fan arts could have been his actual design that a Blizzard employee drew. But you wouldn't know.
What's, like, you know, like 1 year, what's in the future, and have, like, Doomfist and a bunch of people, like, making their own funny character designs, and then have actual Doomfist in there, like, obscured behind something, you know? Mm-hmm. Or, like, other shit like that, like, because it really is just maybe I'm spoiled Maybe I'm spoiled by Team Fortress 2 being so fun with their updates. Like, Meet the Medic. Like, Meet the Medic had a whole thing where people, like, found this, you know, like, in the game. Sometimes when the scout would die, a dove flew out. What the fuck is that? What? Hold on.
What do they mean by this?
Yeah, like, say that, like they added the Doomfist thing for when Orisa came out, and, like, that was it. That's all they did. They didn't do anything else. Like, Doomfist was here.
Doomfist broke the robots, and the scraps of those robots were turned into Orisa. Here's my thing about Doomfist right now. Is anyone even excited for him anymore? Because I know for a fact he's gonna suck shit. Their track record passed on has been pretty fucking bad.
Here's what I really want Doomfist to be. I want him to take the gimmick of the quick melee punch and, like, do some, like, you go in, like, his, like, left and right click are different punches or whatever, and you go pop, 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 pow, and then you quick melee attack like an uppercut, and then you hurt someone a bunch. You know, so I want him to do a fun gimmick like that.
He's gonna have two hands to punch with. He's gonna, like how heavy can switch between punches. He's gonna have his left jab, which is gonna be a quick, light damaging attack. Then he's gonna have his right hook uppercut, which is a slow wind-up punch that does a shitload more damage and can knock him up a little bit, kind of like how Reinhardt can fucking knock you around. Now for abilities, I'm gonna take a lot of inspiration off of a character called Gauntlet in Heroes of New Earth. You want to know why? Figure out that name and figure out why I'm thinking about this character. So Gauntlet's
the big problem with a melee character in a mostly ranged game is that you have to, he has to be able to get in, he has to be able to survive,
or be tanky enough to at least walk up like Reinhardt.
Yeah, Reinhardt's also like a tank that people hide behind, so when he goes in, people follow with him.
Reinhardt, okay, I'm sorry. Doomfist isn't going to be a tank. They've actually confirmed this by saying, we wanted to rush Orisa out so that there can be a tank that can compete with Reinhardt. So, baseline, Doomfist is not going to be a tank. Because the one they just made a tank, and they just said the reason they made her first is so they could have a new tank. So, Doomfist is either going to be another offensive hero, melee only, or he's going to be in the defensive slot, because they haven't made a defensive slot hero yet. But the offense and defense thing doesn't really matter, because you usually pick, like, your tank, your healers, and then two other characters who are going to act as your DPS, even if they're on the offensive or defensive role anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, even if he's on the defensive role, he's still basically going to be an offensive character, because that's just how the game works now. Those roles don't mean that much anymore. But, fucking Symmetra is a support, but she's obviously a defensive-only hero. The thing's bullshit. Fix that shit, Blizzard. But, fucking Doomfist is going to be a melee-only character. It's the only way they can make him. And I'm actually kind of excited for that, because I kind of want more melee-only heroes like Reinhardt. I've said that Roadhog needs a rework, and that shotgun of his is bullshit. Because in other MOBAs, because that's what this game is, when you hook somebody, they don't immediately die. Like, Pudge and Devour drain your HP. It's a combo that's going to kill everyone early on in the game. But you don't do it immediately. So, like, say if Devour is in a team fight, hooks someone and starts to ult them, he can be stopped and your teammate can be saved. If Roadhog hooks somebody, you can Zarya bubble him, but only that one character can do that. Everyone, he's fucked. Now, you do have ways to play around it, but not nearly as much as something in the other MOBAs that exist out on the planet.
There's two ways to stop it.
You have to be D.Va and you have to be Zarya.
All the time. Yeah, D.Va, Zarya, or Symmetra. Because I've dropped so many with throwing an E.
Symmetra is such a situational pick, you can't rely on it. Like, you can pick D.Va and Zarya a lot, but you can only pick Symmetra sometimes. I don't like bringing her up. It's like saying, Symmetra counters Genji. Okay, you're gonna pick her to stop Genji on this King of the Hill map, aren't you? No, you're not, dumbass. Get out of here. One of the biggest counters of Genji is, Winston, because again, Symmetra doesn't have to aim his gun, he can always just hit him. But Winston's also countered by Genji, because Genji's stupid right click is like a shotgun, so he's gonna fuck Winston in his stupid monkey butt. Genji's stupid. There needs to be another or at the very least, Genji needs to not block certain melee attacks. Like Reinhardt's giant 800-pound hammer that's jet-powered should not be blocked by a little 10-inch knife. How about you fuck off? When that hammer swings hard enough to knock people around and make it hard for even Reinhardt to hit his target again, bitch, it shouldn't be deflected by that. So he goes for Doomfist when he eventually comes out. Motherfucker should be able to punch right through Genji's stupid-ass face. But anyway, I think Roadhog should be a melee character, where instead of fucking just grabbing someone, hooking them and shooting them and just killing them, just saying, well, I contributed, he should instead be a little more team-oriented, in my opinion, where you can hook him and then say, punch him or something. Or say, do Diablo's thing Here's the Storm, where he, like, grabs him and, like, choke slams him behind him. Do something like that. Like, know how he has that weird spiked brass knuckle on his hand? How about he uses that as a big weapon? Like, make that bigger and cartoonier instead of having his stupid shotgun. Now he
just,
hooks
like,
and punches
hook someone
people.
and I just punch him.
Hook him, like, choke slam, and then he can, like, punch the shit out of him or something. He can still have his heal if he fucking wants. I don't really care about that ability. It's
I
his
think
gun
the heal's
that's annoying.
perfectly fine. The
TF2
gun
that's
Heavy
stupid.
has that for the same reason.
Yeah, like, it's the gun that I think is stupid, because it's objectively better than Reaper's gun. It has half the shots, but it also takes half the shots to kill somebody, so they basically have the same amount of fucking shots. Reaper has to two-shot just about everybody. Now, if Reaper is, like 800 finger quotes here, lucky, he can get a one-shot headshot on a squishier target like Tracer or even like Lucio. But that's only if he's right up in their tits and every pellet hits the head exactly. Roadhog can hook at his regular, person to hook distance and do his shot, and only half of them need the headshot to get a kill. It does a guaranteed with the hook plus the shot 450 damage. That kills everybody but a tank. That's fucking annoying. And only one person, they can be blocked by shields and shit. That's fine. There is counterplay to the hook, but it's the shotgun that I think is the fucking problem, because he does Reaper's job better than Reaper. Reaper either needs new guns, or Roadhog needs to not have his gun. Because they both have because Roadhog's a better tank buster than fucking Reaper. Reaper takes at least 3 to 4 shots to kill somebody, right? Roadhog takes 2.
I think that they could, if they want to keep him, Roadhog, being able to bust tanks, they should make Reaper sneakier. So you go in, you come behind someone, blam, blam, blam. You shift away, you use your E to run away. And then, you use your E, you come back, you drop down there, and you Death Blossom on their asses. Yeah,
and the thing with Reaper is, too, is that, fucking, he's a dangerous opponent. So, like Roadhog, he has, firecrackers in his shoes. You can hear him click-clacking down the fucking roadway.
Click-clacking down the track. It's lots and lots of Reaper.
And when he teleports, he can't just teleport and have a big loud sound. He has to say, repositioning, really loud in a megaphone so that everyone can know and counterplay the fact that Reaper just teleported nearby. Because, like in League of Legends, it wouldn't be fun if you got hit by an ability because you were stupid. It has to have a big warning sign and someone screaming in your ears that you're about to get hit by some shit. It actually makes you wonder, when you see, Vel'Koz's AoEs popping in front of you, you see a big warning sign, and you're like, how did I get hit by that? It's like getting, even Monster Hunter attacks don't have that much wind-up and warning. Come on, motherfucker! I think motherfucking, Glavenus' tail swipe has less fucking tells than goddamn half the abilities in League of Goddamn Legends. Fuck, or Reaper's goddamn teleport, or Sombra's fucking, I was here all along, really loud, because you gotta make sure people hear that. It just wouldn't be fun otherwise. That character that we spent 8 months hyping up just can't be good. That'd be stupid. That would make Ana not nearly as good. God, I hate Overwatch sometimes.
So do I. Let's do a Heroes of the Storm game once we're done with this so I can get my 10 Overwatch boxes.
I don't want to play that. I want to play Injustice. Go ask one of your stupid friends to do it. Put that in the podcast right there. Some arguments. On a happier note, I recently played Kirby Team Clash Deluxe, that extended minigame of a sub-game of the fucking Robobot, and it was actually really good. The free-to-start thing, in finger quotes, is a little off-putting to a lot of people, because it's just gonna be some free-to-play bullshit. I appreciate the fact that Nintendo is a little more transparent where they say free-to-start as opposed to free-to-play, because you can start the game for free, but you're gonna need to spend money eventually. Okay, so the thing with Kirby is, there's this thing called gem apples that grow in this tree, and that's the currency. You also earn them from missions and doing heroic missions, which are like beat the boss, beat the Waddle Doo, the King Doo. It's a big yellow one with a little hair. It's a boss version, and it's beat it, you get 10 apples. But you can also say beat it using the Beam Mage class, you get 7 more. Beat it and earn a platinum medal, get 10 more. Shit like that. You get it through doing those little heroic missions. Also, when you buy apples, you can make the tree bigger and thus get more apples every 12 hours when they grow. But there's like you need the gem apples to start some missions. They're blocked off. It'll take like let's say 30 to open up the lock and then fight the mission. Also, you need to buy gear and upgrade it. So like when I want to buy this new hat for my medic class, I need to spend say 80 gem apples and then also light shards that you farm from just getting from enemies. You can't buy those. You just get them. You can also buy other things like items, like consumables to use, like an extra potion to do more damage for that fight to get a better score. You can buy an XP orb that can give you double the XP for 30 minutes. You can also buy these codexes that give you more shards and shit when you're farming and shit. You don't really need that, though, once you get the lucky set. You can farm with just that. But, you start, because you only get, like, 3 goddamn apples at baseline. You need to buy more apples to get more from the tree. You're eventually just going to run out from buying the equipment of getting the very few that you get from winning, from the heroic missions. You can eventually buy some. They're very cheap. And you can only actually buy up to $30 worth of apples. 3,000 gem apples. And you actually need a lot more than 3,000. But what happens is when you buy that many apples, your tree gets huge. And you get 450 apples every 12 hours. It's to supplement the fact that you needed to spend money to make it this far, so it's going to give you enough apples to still continue and do your shit. Because you need it to, like, say you run out of time, or you just die, you gotta spend, like, 2 to revive yourself, or it's 3. 3 to revive yourself, you gotta spend, like, the 30 to unlock levels, you gotta spend, like the 50 plus on gear and upgrade and shit, which just stacks up over time. You need this shit. Is it worth it? I had a lot of fun with it. I'd say it actually is. But it's really if you like that boss rush kind of gameplay. Because the Kirby bosses are actually really fun to fight. No, I really liked it. The music was fantastic. The fucking bosses were great. They're mostly reused and recolors, but they still had a lot of fun mechanics to them. The healer class is named Dr. Healmore, which is just amazing. The game is pretty good. I would recommend, like, trying it out and see if you like it. Maybe spend, like, maybe $10 worth of apples on it. Just fucking play around with it and shit. Like, think of it like this. How much would you spend money on this, expanded sub-game? How much would you spend? Because, like, about $30 to $40 is what a normal 3DS game is worth. So how much is this sub-game? Like, the old Triple Deluxe versions of the sub-games were like $7 each. And that was pretty fair for the game content that they had. So how much would you spend on this? I really liked it. The bosses were good. The music was fantastic, as it always is in Kirby. It was really cute. I'd say it's at least worth $10 to the most average person. And if you're a hardcore Kirby fan, you can drop the full-on fucking 30 if you want. It's up to you. Because like I mentioned earlier, there's a hard limit of what you can get. But yeah, it was nice. I liked it. Another topic that we could bring up, I don't know, this episode's really fucking long as it is.
Yeah, I just noticed something as well. My wallpaper, where it's a shitty 3D model of the sun glaring at the Earth. At this whole time, I thought the Earth was smiling back up at it, but no, it's actually the reflection in the ocean of the sun about to eat the Earth.
Rip Earth.
I've had this, I'll make that the fucking background of this episode. I've had this background for so long, I've never noticed this.
Now, I have a better idea, Tad. How about you have it be the sun with Samon the Summoner's face on it, and then on the Earth, it's the fucking girl's face being reflected back at it from the fucking picture I sent you?
That sounds like a lot of work, Alex. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, okay. I would have done it.
All right, so that was an episode of NOYZ BOYZ, all right. A lot of complaining about MOBAs and Overwatch. Huh. Seems to be a pretty common topic.
I think it's going to be at least a 10-minute segment each episode, NOYZ BOYZ, guys, so get ready for that, because I keep playing Overwatch despite me hating it.
Pretty much. Watermelon keeps crying while eating Otter keeps crying while eating watermelon.
You got it.
I did it. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, and Google Play. Find us on Twitter, @LetMeTellYouPD. You can find us on, or you can send us an email at letmetellyyouabout@gmail.com. That's let me tell you about with 3 T's, because otherwise it wouldn't fit. There's also a Discord that we have in the description here on iTunes and YouTube and all that. There's also a Patreon that we have a lot of super generous fans donating to help us with audio stuff. And now we're going to give a shout out to a few of them. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to Magic Man, Elizabeth Gutierrez, Logan, Stephen Finn, Brady Hammonds.
Oh, no 2 hands. Jaren Kiwi, if I say that right, Sean Dunsmore, who made us sing that fucking song, and Alba, who was on TNA.
Which will never happen again as long as I have control over this fucking podcast.
As long as King Jong-un over here controls our podcast with an iron fist. By the way,
my word is firm but fair.
How does it feel, Ted, not only to be a god, but also to now officially be plugging stuff because you're so popular?
Feels good, Alex.
You're just like everyone else now, Ted. You did it, champ.